validating her feelings. I got a clip to play with this.
Create an environment for your woman to feel safe, secure with her emotions, all emotions, not just the good emotions. In order for a woman to be free and love and submissive, this needs to be there. And so when your woman comes to you with a problem, don't shut it down and don't invalidate their feelings. And let me give you guys some game. I know there's a saying, feels before reals. Just because a person feel like that don't mean that they right. That's true. It's 100% true. But you have to make sure you're not invalidating your woman's feelings. She feels like that. You don't have to agree with it, but don't tell her she crazy because she feels like that. When your woman comes to you with a problem or concern, or she feel like you did something to her, acknowledge it. You don't have to submit to it or whatever, but don't invalidate it, because when you do that one time and you start to invalidate your woman's feelings, you're going to get a different woman. You're not going to get the woman that's open, trusting, freely in love, freely submissive and vulnerable and feminine. She's going to start to give you a more masculine version of herself.
All right. So he's saying, let me just ask you guys this. How many people have been in a situation before where, sure, I see you raising up. How many of y'all been in a situation before where you knew you were right, but you just chose not to go down that path? Essentially, that's what it seemed like he was saying.
Wait, been in before or this week? Like what? What you talking? Today or what? Shoot, that's.
That's a daily thing. That's a daily thing.
Yeah, man.
That's a daily thing.
Shoot, it might be the definition of husband right there. Know you right, but got to keep the peace. It might be the definition of husband right there. Mm-hmm. Know you right.
All right, Trick Mike, go ahead and expand on it a little bit.
Might be the definition of husband right.
Hold on, who's that?
Know you right. Yeah, I would
and expand on it a little bit.
Definition of husband right.
I might be Ali.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I think we fixed it. Ali, you got that background YouTube playing.
Got you.
My bad. I ain't mean to do that.
No, but it's an art form. All right. So this is not something that you can really give advice on. This is one of those things. When I say that a husband isn't a husband on day one, yes, you have to have the characteristics of a husband, sure, to do the job correctly. But more or less, it's a trial and error job. And this is one of those things that you might fail at a lot, because we live in the most emotional generation ever. So some things as a man, especially with your biological makeup and the way you process things, you just want to insert logic into the situation as quick as you can. And that is, you're going to find out with your woman, is another way to invalidate their feelings. Even giving simple logic, right? Sometimes they just want to be heard. Sometimes the question was rhetorical. They didn't even want an answer, right? So men are going to struggle with this. So there's no easy way to say it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Learning your woman how to listen to her, when to stop and give advice, when to validate, even, dare I say, when to placate. And just be like, all right, well, you know the right answer. Like JR said, you right, or the situation you want to give or the fix you want to give is what's needed, but you still got to maybe hold off until a later date till she's in a space to hear that. All of that is encompassed in the job of a husband. I've watched men do it masterfully, right? And even give advice to other people behind the scenes like, don't deal with that right now. You'll see all this at barbecues, family reunions. You'll see this type of stuff, and you got to learn from the OGs that this is a process that starts when you become a husband, but it takes a lifetime to master.
Oh, freaking Mike. I'm curious what everybody else got to say, because sometimes you just got to say something. I mean, sometimes you just got to just deal with the consequence of whatever it's going to be, because some things you just can't excuse, or some things need to be spoken up on.
Well, I would say this. I don't really understand why something has to be said. Just in just the way I see things, I don't care, and it's not that I don't care about her. I don't care about being right. I don't care about inserting logic. Like, let her be. I believe in embracing female nature. Like, I love women. Let her just do whatever she's doing. You know, why does it hurt me? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can be arguing with a woman and you don't even have a reason why you arguing. Like, I don't want to argue, you know? It's so shit. If she want to verbally act the fool, not saying call you out your name or whatever, but, you know, just be unstable, just chill, you know, because that's your woman. My job is to regulate my woman. And I'm going to just like put the barrier around her so she can run around in this little area. As long as she stays in this area, we're good, you know? So I like to just give her room to just do whatever or feel whatever she wants to feel. But at the same time, I'm not going to come in and say, hey, stop running around. Stop doing this. Stop it. Stop feeling like this. No, ask questions, you know, be there for her. And the number one thing, be present. Because sometimes if you're so steady trying to catch up with her and what are you talking about? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You're not really present with her. So me, I can't speak for anybody else. Why do y'all care so much to be right or to go back and forth with her? Let her do whatever she's doing. I love just letting the woman just be herself. You know, I always say women are children. Let her be a child. Let her cry, let her whine, let her yell, let her fuss, let her do whatever. And just sit there, just chill out. Now, and I ain't saying like, oh, bitch ass nigga. I ain't saying like that. But a woman is going to be a woman. And I believe in embracing that instead of trying to pigeonhole her and make her do this. Man, do your thing, baby. I'm just chilling. I'm just going to sit here and just chill out. I don't want to be right. I don't give a shit about being right.
Okay, Mr. Let Go. The man that continuously says that women are children is also saying, just let them be and let them do what they want. Are you telling me that?
I say it all the time.
All right, yeah. I'm just making sure I'm hearing you correct.
As long as she stays within this arena, she can do
the boundary.
Yeah, give her a boundary and show her that you're paying attention to her. You good.
So what about the kids? You gonna let the kids just run around in that same area, thing?
Same thing. Yep.
Same thing. Let go.
Same thing. As long as you don't go outside the boundary, you good.
Well, that's why he's Mr. Let Go. He gonna let it go. He's like, whatever. I don't care. Whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but you know what?
Let me say this. When my kids were little, they had their own room where a particular room where they can write on the wall, do whatever they want to do. Because I knew at some point, whenever I need to, I'll just redo this one room. So they literally had a boundary when they were little. They can write on they can do whatever it is they want to do as long as they do it in this room. You do it outside this room, you're gonna get a whooping. But as long as you do it, I don't care. And that was just the let them tear everything up room. So yeah, I've been like that.
You know what, y'all? The one thing that I'm hearing here, first of all, I'm not agreeing with everything that Let Go said, but there's one piece that's real huge with what he said is the I don't care part. See, men do care about their feelings. He's hitting it on the head with that because men are insecure. So then when you're insecure like that, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get all into her feelings because you're going to be in your feelings. So really, to be quite honest, what he's saying is on point because if you're getting all caring about all of that type of stuff, you need to check yourself and see where you are with your securities. Where are you at in the thing? Because really and truly, if you're not right with where you're secure at, then the whole relationship gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be defensive. It's gonna be goofy. It's gonna be crazy. It's not gonna make no sense. And then as soon as she start feeling some way, then you gonna feel some way, and this and that, blah blah blah. And then now it's going to be a relationship that's all over the place, and you don't want that. If she doesn't want that, nobody wants that. So.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, some men are triggered by their woman. You know, they're triggered by the tears, the boo-hoos, but you said you do this, or you said you love me, and all this and that. Some men are like, oh, hon, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, or, you know, and explaining away and apologizing away when you didn't do a damn thing wrong.
Can I ask a
We
question?
gotta you can't forget that, you know, a lot of women have the ability to manipulate like nobody's business. I mean, that is their core strength is to manipulate us, because they study us and they study manipulation from being really little. Just like men try to learn how to accomplish things and learn how to be creative and make themselves useful, girls figure those things out when they're young. How do I get what I want? How do I get daddy to get me what I want? How do I get grandpa to get me what I want? How do I get mommy to get me what I want? How do I get my homegirls to get me what I want? How do I get my man to get me what I want? It's just what it is.
Can I
It's
ask y'all a
part of
question?
female nature. And what's that?
I wanted to ask a question just so I could be on point. What is the actual question, JR? Because I didn't hear that. Because I'm gonna see validating her feelings,
Yeah,
but
it was a clip that we played.
it
was
was
a clip.
Yeah, but basically, Ali,
Yeah.
he was speaking to the importance of validating your woman's feelings. He claims that, you know, a lot of men, when women are expressing themselves, are super dismissive and try to insert logic immediately, more so than just hearing her out. He's basically saying, don't be dismissive. Validate your woman's feelings, you know, if you want the relationship to succeed. That's the gist of what he said.
okay. You know,
Right.
100%, but I think I'm not 100%, but I kind of agree with that. I think that you do have to not to dismiss her feelings in a way of making her feel like her feelings is validated. I think that as men, as being leaders, if we want our women to learn how to move past thinking or making decisions with their emotions, we in the relationship or marriage should lead in showing that we make our decisions off of knowledge and understanding, which is logic, right? And if we want our women to make decisions based off that, right? And also, if you say that you don't want your woman to be moving and just always in her feelings about everything, right? You show her how to express the emotions. When you get mad and you feeling some type of way, do you make decisions off of your emotions, or do you know how to express yourself in the best of manners to show her, I'm gonna lead, I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna just tell you that I need you to think logical or I need you to make logical decisions, right? I'm gonna lead in that, right? Because I'm not looking for a woman to lead me in a relationship. I'm the man in a relationship, so I'm looking to be the leaders. That's why she chose me, right? So at the end of the day, I think that you do need, and it's just now the reason why I said I didn't agree with it 100% is because I think that our women do need to grow and stop thinking that they need to look at a man or anyone outside themselves in the most high from validation. When you make the most high sufficient, you don't need a man or your mother or your friends or anyone else to validate what you feel. That's between you and your most high, whoever you believe in, right? But you got to grow into that. You
Do
know,
you have another word for validating in this sense then? Because that's a good point. Like, would you say something other than validating here? Instead
it's
of
the same-
validating her feelings, what would you say?
acknowledging, acknowledging, rather you say acknowledging or
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
yeah, I just think that you know, I just think that, you know, we have, I'm solution based, right? We know the problem, Mr. Let Go, and some of the brothers mentioned the problem. Men shouldn't get all wrapped up in their feelings. It's nothing wrong with being empathetic. It's nothing. I want to make this plain. There's nothing wrong with being empathetic. The more compassionate that we have, right, the more you able to balance things out, and then the more your woman actually really want to speak to you. You be surprised what she's not telling you. Really, in reality, you be really surprised. What Drake said is not what you say, is what you don't say, right? So it's the things that it's a lot of men right now married to a woman that they are with that they don't even know that their wife was molested or raped when she was 14, 13 years old. So he don't even know how to deal with her. So he's dealing with a broken or a bruised woman that don't really trust men or have this hatred with men secretly. But she, and sometimes subconsciously, and she don't even really know. Well, she do know, but he's not even
a go-to to talk. She with the man that she can't even speak to and be transparent with. So the thing about it, but when you being empathetic and compassionate, then and make it easy for someone, and this is what the man meaning by validating her feelings, or being acknowledging her feelings. When you are approachable and you don't, and you able to listen, sometimes you just got to listen. We, as any parents that's up here, we all know our children we teach our children how to talk while our children teach us how to be quiet. So you can just listen. When your woman is talking, she's telling you a lot without you even knowing. But if you just shutting her down, dismissing her feelings, you're not being approachable. And then guess what? That's how your business and all her stuff is getting out everywhere else, because she can't talk to you. She's not transparent with you. Now that's no excuse, but I'm just telling you this is the problem. So the solution to this: be more approachable, be compassionate, acknowledge her feelings, and then guide her. And because you're the standard in the household, if God is the standard or is at the top, and you the head in the household, and she's following your lead, then lead in that aspect to show her how to get to a certain level.
Let me give y'all an example of acknowledging a woman, staying in the room with her, and then still giving her a solution, right? Say your kid calls you and says, there's a boogeyman in the closet, right? Now, a dismissive parent will go in there and say, hey, ain't nothing in the closet, go to bed, right? We think about our woman, right? So you go in a room instead of doing that and say, wait, is a boogeyman in the closet? And you go in the closet, hey, boogeyman, leave my child alone. And then you go through the clothes and say, okay, I think the boogeyman's gone, right? And then you go back and you tuck your kid in and say, okay, you good? Yeah, I'm good. All right. And I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna wave my hand around, and it's gonna make it where the boogeyman can't come back. Okay? And you kiss your kid on the forehead, and then you tuck your kid in and you leave out the room. Problem solved. You did not solve the problem. You literally acknowledged the problem, because there is really no boogeyman, right? So if you actually, because sometimes a woman wants to get how you feel about her issue, right? You don't supposed to get rid of the problem all the time. You just have to acknowledge that there is a problem. And sometimes once you get to that point where she sees that you see her, because women just want attention, just like children. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be acknowledged. But sometimes as men, you're going to be like, yo, you talking about Sheila at work again? Why you keep talking about? Nope. You say, you know what? I'm so sick of Sheila. She get on my damn nerves just like she get on your nerves. You acknowledge the boogeyman just like with the child, right? You talk about Sheila, even though you sick of talking about Sheila, and you get mad at Sheila like you care some about some damn Sheila. You're acknowledging the boogeyman, and then you tuck her in and you acknowledge her and you kiss her on the forehead and say, because of you don't like Sheila, I don't like Sheila either. That's really all she wants. She just doesn't want, she wants you to not like Sheila, just like she doesn't like Sheila. You don't even know who the hell the damn woman is. So that's exactly how acknowledging a woman and validating her feelings without totally solving the problem. Because guess what? Sheila's still at work. Sheila's still gonna get on her nerves, and you didn't take Sheila away. You just acknowledge that Sheila exists.
Hold on. I want to go to Ella, because I seen Ella shaking his head. Ella, you don't agree?
Hell no. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hell no, I don't agree. First of all, I agree to it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But a woman is not a child. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm not religious, but the Bible says, and as a man, as a child, I spoke like a child. I act like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. I feel like we got to hold women to that same standard. Now,
you said when you became a man,
finish, bro.
Not a woman.
Bro, you talk for a minute. Let me talk. So on one hand, I do understand how you got to let women be themselves. But at the same time, if the boogeyman is Sheila, then that means I need to get to know what's going on in my woman's mind so she can realize that Sheila is not the boogeyman. I feel like as a man, it's our job to perfect our woman, and in some way she can help perfect me. Me planning, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree. But me acting like Sheila is that big of an issue to her when she's not, that's not progressive to me. I'd rather get to know my woman and understand how she perceives things, because sometimes a woman's perception could create monsters in her life that's not even there. And I think it's a more productive conversation when I can say, okay, baby, what is she doing, or how are you perceiving what she's doing to make you feel like she's what she is? I think that's a more healthier conversation, because now my woman is like, you know what? I'm looking at this thing all wrong. Sheila's not even that serious. It's me. I'm overreacting. Because sometimes, especially in the workplace, women, they go to work thinking that they go there to make friends. You there to make money. You there to project yourself. These people are not your sisters. They're not your brothers. They're not your family. So my job is to help my woman have a higher awareness so she can fix her own problems. So sometimes it's a time to validate it, but sometimes it's time to just grow the hell up.
And I just want to
I think
add,
that's great. I think
validating her feelings. Just so you know, that's the
so,
opposite of validating her feelings by acting like Sheila is not the enemy. Just so
let me add to
what it's the same thing.
I want to grow up.
Hey, B-Man, let me add to what he said really quick, because I think it's extremely important what he said about work.
Yeah.
All right. So as I heard you brothers talking, and great stuff, great input, by the way, except for Mr. Lego. I'm joking. But what I realize is that we have to validate our woman's feelings within reason.
Thank you.
And a few thoughts just came to me, like, we have to understand what thoughts are women of this generation sharing with us, and how does it affect us? We're not dealing with what our fathers were dealing with, or our grandfathers before them. We're not dealing with that type of woman anymore. These women are starting to perform and move in ways that no other woman has. They're working more hours in different types of careers and executive positions. They're doing all types of stuff women have never done in history. We are the first group of men in history that have to deal with being deprioritized by our women because of work. Women used to prioritize family anyway, even though they work. You see what I'm saying? So those type of feelings are going to creep their way into your house. Then let me give you something that the fellas report, right? When we talk, Bob got on their nerves at work. He did something by the fax machine or whatever. They come home. You got the bottle of wine. You about to bathe the kids, put the kids to bed so y'all can get it on. She want to talk about Bob and something Bob did for the third day in a row. Now she don't want to have sex no more because Bob pissed her off. It's like you have to dictate what feelings are safe to share, because Bob now run your household.